Abraham Sam, representative for Roads and Highways, is here with us tonight. Mr. Mohammed.
We had 10 meetings, in between which we read articles and listened to recorded programs and made our individual short lists. We looked at the content of each item, the ideas contained in it, the style, originality, and the overall effect on the reader or the listener. We also kept in mind the fact that the National Press Awards Day was instituted not only to raise the standard and image of the profession of journalism in Ghana, but also to encourage journalists, both in the print and the electronic media, to contribute to the growth and the development of Ghana by keeping their patrons well informed and by widening their horizons. At the end of the day, the acid test is that extra distinctive quality that makes you want to read an article again, or keeps you waiting eagerly for the repeat of a TV or radio program. This quality adds a new dimension to life and always leaves one a little richer for having encountered it. We would have liked more entries from the privately owned houses, and we would encourage them to send in entries for this competition in future. We would like to commend Mr. Rex Dankwa for the impact his weekly journal, Leisure, has made on entertainment and culture in Ghana. We would also mention Antiochus of the Ashanti Pioneer for his challenging column in that paper. This year, we have made a special award to a promising journalist. She is Miss Efwa Sapong, formerly of the Ghana School of Journalism. I hope she's here.
The relationship between Ghana and Nigeria goes back a very long way. It was there in the days of the great West African civilizations before the coming of the white man. It was there when the white man came, and during the struggles for the domination of Africa and the following periods of enslavement, of colonialism, and it was there during the struggle for the liberation of the African continent, which still continues. Our relationship has had its ups and downs, but we have remained brothers and sisters in the true sense of the word. Brothers and sisters have a lot in common. Brothers and sisters love each other and enjoy each other's company. But brothers and sisters, above all, fight a lot. It is all part of the relationship. This relationship has been enhanced recently by the visit of the chairman of the PNDC, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, to Nigeria, which visit specifically took place in Kano, a very old, a very ancient city with a great civilization. Our head of state and the head of state of Nigeria immediately struck a very, very powerful chemical relationship. That relationship is nothing but a crystallization of that age-old relationship which has existed between our two countries. It has been followed immediately by a sharp focus of attention from all over the world on our corner of the world, because whatever happens here in Ghana has repercussions in Nigeria. Whatever happens in Nigeria has repercussions in Ghana. But when Nigeria and Ghana think together, whatever happens has repercussions for the whole world. In the aftermath of the visit of our head of state to Nigeria, we have been working very hard to try and give substance to the pronouncements that the two leaders have made whilst they have been communicating with each other. And I assure you this communication has been going on since that first visit. We expect that our relationships will build up in many areas of activity. But one of the most important areas is the area of communication. It is the area in which we have to ensure that we keep our people informed, our two peoples of Ghana and Nigeria, informed thoroughly of what is going on in our two countries, informed thoroughly of what we need to do to enhance the struggle to liberate our two countries and the African continent at large. It is for this reason that we invited here to this country our brother and colleague, the Federal Minister of Information and Culture, Mr. Prince Tony Momo. He accepted our invitation and chose a very, very important time to come. He came at a time also when we are looking again at the area of film industry. He came at a time when we are talking about encouraging our people who work in the media, both the print and the electronic. I do believe that this may sound and look like a coincidence, but it is not. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my greatest pleasure and honor this evening to introduce to you our brother, our colleague, our fellow freedom fighter, Prince Tony Momo, the Federal Minister of Information and Culture of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. The special guest of honor and PNDC member, PNDC secretaries, my distinguished colleagues in the media, print and electronic, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to be in Ghana, and I'm extremely happy to be here with my colleagues tonight on the occasion of harvesting their reward for work very well done in the year, reward which can be earned on earth and not wait for heaven. It is not that we haven't rewards in heaven, but we are asked to give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to all others what belongs to others. There are lots of other places where reward is for martyrdom. And martyrdom does not arise usually from hard work. It may well arise from someone looking into a deep well and deciding to take a plunge in ignorance. I guess he said, you know, shattered in a wall and then maybe harvests a reward posthumously. But I do not think that is the type of reward here. From what I've heard, there is no doubt in my mind at all that a committee was set up that looked at performance, monitored performance, judged performance, and decided that all of you did brilliantly well. But since the awards had to go to some people, some of your colleagues have to have the awards. And I want to congratulate all of you who have been part of this occasion in the assessment And those of you who have had the opportunity to win, I want to congratulate you. I also want to assure you that you are teaching us in Nigeria many lessons. We will not be able to organize awards at this level. I happen to have been the chairman of the accreditation board of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, what I've done since 1979. And we tried to set up this type of award. That was not even the first time. Every time we have tried, we have failed. I do not know whether it is because of the number we have to deal with. Currently, we have 5,700 registered journalists in Nigeria. Nor do I know whether it's because of the number of papers we have to look at, highly dispersed, about 30 dailies now, or whether we have to include radio and television, radio stations 32, television stations 32. But I know that even if we wanted to look at all of them, we would, by the time we finished, be dealing with the dead. Since 1970, in Nigeria, we have had to date 74 newspapers and magazines established. And I can assure you that the 17 newspapers that were established between 1979 and today, 14 have gone the way of no return. I don't know if they were not programmed, but I think it is more correct to say that they had achieved their purpose. They came in to achieve political points. When those points were achieved or failed, they wound up. I want to congratulate you that you are involved in this exercise. What has been happening in Nigeria is that this type of exercise has been happening in newspaper houses. Individual newspapers give these prizes. Radio stations give these prizes. Television stations give these prizes. And then the chapels of the Nigerian Union of Journalists in the states, in the 21 states, organize these prizes for the media in the particular state. And from what I've seen tonight, I think we'll learn a few lessons, and I'll have to suggest when I get back to Nigeria that we try to organize this type of exercise at the national level. It just struck me that there can be a way out of it. We will have run-offs. We start maybe at the local government level, we continue at the state level, and maybe we ask the runners-up to come to the federal level for the final decision and then celebration of this type of occasion. It's really very exciting to be with colleagues. In fact, those of you who know what I am talking about will say that in this hall, because of the presence of ink, because of the presence of film, you feel the vibrations. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, madam. The best is a wall clock and a cash prize of 20,000 cedis. Congratulations. And 20,000 cedis. Best entertainment, and that's a wall clock and 20,000 cedis. Congratulations. Thank you. Best Sports Writer Award goes to Oheniba Charles, and it's a wall clock and 20,000 cedis. Congratulations, Oheniba. The best columnist of the year is Mr. Daniel Koomson, And his award is a wall clock and 20,000 cedis. Best columnist. Somebody is coming. Congratulations. Entertainment and culture, show business, what some people call it, has an award. And the best writer for entertainment and culture is Nana Benin Jackson of the Mirror. He gets 1 wall clock and 20,000 cedis. Congratulations. The best news agency reporter is Mr. Frank Ajekum of GNA. He gets a wall clock and 20,000 cedis. Congratulations. The best local language program for radio, Antrepa, goes to Akwesi Donko. He receives a Deuro FM radio and 30,000 cedis cash. The best local language program for television is Adult Education in Ghana, and it goes to Okodagadu of GBC. He also receives an FM radio and 30,000 cedis. The best radio feature is Africa This Week, and the award for that goes to Mr. Daniel Mensah Brand of GBC. He gets a radio, an FM radio, and 30,000 cedis. Congratulations. The best feature writer works for the People's Daily Graphic, and his name is it a he or she? Say she. Akwele Ajavon. Miss Akwele Ajavon. She receives a radio and 30,000 cedis. Congratulations, madam. The best regional correspondents for the print media. Well, the regional correspondents are very important because they keep Accra informed of what goes on in the regions. And Accra, in turn, passes it on to the other regions. And they are very, very important. And the best regional correspondent this year for the print media is Ahimful Mensah of Graphic in Secondary. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody has been trying to steal him and give him to Graphic. He's for Ghanaian Times. You will see a radio and 30,000 cedis. Congratulations. The next, the best regional correspondent for radio goes to Peter Kaba of GBC. He gets a radio, FM, and 30,000 cedis. Congratulations, Peter. The Best News Reporter Award, Kofi Yeboajiman. Okay. Kofi Yeboah Ajiman works for the Graphic Corporation, and for his reward, first he gets a trip to a West African country, and that trip is donated by Ghana Airways for 7 days on attachment to a press house. First of all, I would like to urge him to take that trip to Nigeria. And if he does accept to do so, I will ask my colleague to kindly take him and make sure he gets the best exposure possible in Nigeria. He also gets a cash prize of 40,000 cedis and an FM radio. Congratulations. The next one is the big one, and that is the Journalist of the Year Award. Young, handsome Ghanaian, resplendent in his fugu, standing in front of me, who just walked majestically to the tune of the fanfare, is no other person than our Journalist of the Year, Mr. David Ampofo of GBC TV. David, for your award, you receive, first of all, a trip to the United Kingdom. I must say that in this respect, you are not as lucky as the second prize winner. You are only going to the United Kingdom. But knowing you, I know that you will make the best use of it. You will keep your eyes open and come and inform your fellow Ghanaians. You will be on attachment to a press house for 7 days with full per diem paid by the UAC foreign. We are very grateful to the UAC for this. You also receive a radio, an FM radio, and cash prize of 50,000 cedis. Congratulations, David.
Thank you very much.
He wants to open it.
All right.
The minister wants to open the present so that everybody can see it. This stool is a presentation to His Excellency jointly from the Ministries of Information and the Ministry of Education and Culture as a token of our appreciation. You are welcome, sir, to sit on this. The symbol underneath it says Jinyame, which in Akan means the omnipotent. Again, 3 times. One more time. Thank you very much.
Beautiful gift. Stools mean a great deal in Nigeria, and I know what it means. Thank you very much.
Thank you. He's not here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And the other one goes to the Director of Radio, TV of Nigeria, who accompanied His Excellency here, and that is Alhaji Saka Sabo, who is the Commercial Director of Nigerian Television Authority.
Thank you very much.
I think that's all.
One is marking the 1988 National Press Awards Day. As you are all aware, this is a national occasion for giving recognition to journalists who have distinguished themselves in various fields during the year. I have today witnessed with much pleasure the number and variety of awards selected for you this evening. I will say something about this in the course of this address. My first duty, as I say it, is to congratulate all the award winners on the efforts that have earned them such enviable national recognition. The honor is definitely their own on account of their industry, but the glory redounds on the institutions that trained them and the media houses whose facilities they have used to achieve such excellence. The 1988 awards should also serve to encourage the rest of you to strive for higher achievement in your very interesting profession in order to merit future awards. We know very well that there are potential award winners on the soft decks, on the control panels, behind the cameras and lights, who have not been mentioned tonight. I am confident that the committee will discover them in time for the 1989 awards. And I hope to be here with you to see my prophecy fulfilled. I wish you all a happy new year.
Best Journalist Award winner for 1988 to give us a very short address. On the job, I have the privilege to call Mr. David Ampofo to address us.
On a night such as this, there's always a tendency for people to focus their attention on the award winners. I'm not sure if it's exactly the best thing to do. And in this regard, I'll refer to what Honorable Prince Momo said during his speech. And that is the fact that there are so many unknown men and women here tonight, journalists, who indeed have excelled over the year. But indeed, you always have to have some people represent the lot. And in this regard, I'd like us to say congratulations to all of us. The Master of Ceremonies said that I was going to deliver a short speech. I am obliged to do that. And in that regard, I would immediately focus on one or two issues that I consider essential to the development of journalism in Ghana, in a qualitative sense. And I'll refer immediately to the issue of the culture of silence that His Excellency Justice DF Annan referred to. Sometimes we are not sure if we should use the same words. Maybe the culture of silence could also mean censorship and self-censorship. What am I saying? I'm saying that over the years, journalism is not a new thing and has been with us for some time. There's been a certain political tradition. Journalists have strived, and not strived enough, but indeed have also strived enough now and then. There have been difficult times and there have been good times. Tonight is one of those good times. In 1980, 1981, there was no such day as tonight. But here we are tonight celebrating such a significant occasion. It is indeed an inspiration to all of us, and we will take the cue. But I will go to the point. When we begin to work as journalists, it's something that you don't stop doing. And in that regard, you touch on so many issues. At times the government may not be too pleased with what you do. In this regard, I think we must accept that the climate today is not as it was before. But there is still plenty of room for improvement. Improvement not in terms of the government's image, but in terms of what it will allow a journalist to do for its own image. After all, in countries such as ours, we entertain and we also educate. And the role of a journalist is maybe even more important than school. But I think it is important to mention on a night such as this, that for us to be able to achieve and make that impact, the climate must exist. That's one side of the coin. There's also another side of the coin. That's why I said the culture of silence is indeed censorship and self-censorship. Because press freedom is a very interesting term. I am not going to give you a knife to cut my throat, will I? On the other hand, the simple fact that I don't give you a knife to cut my throat does not mean that you don't even enter my house to threaten me. What do I mean? If the barrier is here, that you cannot talk beyond this point, I think many of us as journalists have even brought the barrier closer to us. What I'm saying is if we dared a little more, that is where the quality would come. He told me not to talk too much. In that regard, I'd like to say congratulations to all of us. We're grateful to those that gave us the awards, and especially, I'm talking about myself now, UAC, Ghana Airways, and so on. And I would like to, on behalf of those of us that have won the awards, assure all of us that we will continue to work in a manner that makes us make the government's message better understood by the people, and at the same time put the message of the people clearer and clearer to the government. We will continue to strive. Thank you very much.
Mr. David Ampofo, the most outstanding journalist for the year 1988, addressing us.